months. I went full-time within 3 months, and I scaled to a 5-figure income within 6 months. You know, I was considered an unnecessary worker. What if I'm working for myself? I can always be necessary. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Ayana. I'm a licensed massage therapist. I own a massage spa in Tallahassee, Florida, and I'm here to talk about how I started my massage business. This video has been highly requested, and now I'm finally delivering it. So if you'll do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to this channel because it takes a lot for me to edit these videos, so I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the story of what led up to me starting the business, talk about what I did to start the business, and then towards the end, I will discuss things that you might want to consider if you are going the route of working for yourself, leaving the spa. Maybe you're fresh out of massage school and you know you want to work for yourself. I'll be talking about some resources for you. So the reason why I want to share my story of what led to me starting the business is because I think it's important to show that the journey was not perfect. So let's go back to 2018. I was actually working at Massage Envy for a while, and I was also working at a chiropractic office. And when I first started my business, I feel like I didn't go all in. I'll be honest, I'll be the first to admit I didn't go all in. I started doing house calls for people that I knew, people who knew that I graduated from massage school, and I didn't have a huge clientele. So I didn't put my all into it, and honestly, I feel like back then I did not have the proper mindset. I didn't have the proper tools, resources, and honestly, I didn't believe in myself. So shortly after I launched back in 2018, I gave up about 3 months in, and that was that for a while. So let's fast forward to 2020, January of 2020. So now we're about to get to know each other a little bit. So January 2020, where was I? I was working at a massage spa, not Massage Envy. I left Massage Envy. I was working at a different massage spa, and I was doing contract work, and I was making pretty good money. I was making about $30 to $40 an hour plus tips. And I was overworking myself. I was working a lot of hours, 30 hours a week, sometimes 35 hours a week, because I was trying to stack up because I needed enough money to buy a car. I was in a toxic relationship, and we shared a car, we shared the same living space, and I needed to get out. So I knew that I needed to laser focus on saving enough money to get a car in the shortest amount of time possible. So I was working at that massage spa, and I was also doing some like copywriting work on the side. And I was just stacking everything. I was hardly spending money on anything at all. I just went to work and back, and that's it. So between January of 2020 and March of 2020, I saved enough money to finally buy a car, all cash, in my name. I learned my lesson from a repossession that I had, you know, prior to this, which is why I didn't have a car in the first place, and bought it all cash, immediately left that relationship, left that environment, and moved in with my mom, who lived 40 minutes away from the city that I was working in. And literally right after I bought this car, the governor of Florida said that we cannot work because of the pandemic. This is when the pandemic first hit. This is when I first learned about the pandemic. And we were considered, licensed massage therapists were considered unessential workers. And I was out of a job doing massage for 3 whole months. So let's think about this for a second. I spent pretty much all I had on this car, and you know, I was able to go where I needed to go and able to get out of that relationship and started living with my mom. I spent everything on that car. So, and I couldn't work for 3 whole months. I was out of a job. I've never been out of work for that long. So when I say I started the business out of necessity. I didn't have anything. So leading up to starting the business, finally deciding to start, I got a job as a call center person, you know, just doing a random call center job that I absolutely despised. I also started working at a property management company, a real estate company. And eventually later on, I was able to work at that massage spa again. They reopened because I guess legislation allowed us to work again or something. I was working 3 jobs, but mostly I was at this real estate company, and I was commuting to work 40 minutes to get there every morning. And it was so simple work, such simple. And so while I was at work, honestly, I started working on my business. I started talking to other people in the office. I know you're not supposed to do this, but I did it anyways. Asking people how much they were getting paid. And they were telling me, you know, $12 an hour, $13 an hour. At this particular place, they hired me at $14 an hour. Why was I getting paid more than people who had been there before? This experience of working at this real estate office definitely showed me that being, you know, once and for all, that being an employee is just not something that I would ever want to do, because a lot of the ways that people treat employees is not fair. They don't get compensated enough despite their education. And oftentimes you're not employed in what you went to school for. So just so many things I saw wrong. Like all this stuff just started not to sit right with me. And I started thinking about all my past experiences being an employee, but just never felt fulfilled doing that. So I decided to take a leap of faith and finally work on my business again. I started putting all my time and effort. I kid you not, I would drive 40 minutes into town, and after work, or before work, I would go to this coffee shop. Thank goodness they were open late, even during the pandemic times. And I would work on my business. I created my own website. I did have experience in web design, making websites for people. So I was like, let me do that for myself. Made my own business cards, got a business phone number, and actually incorporated the business correctly. I was able to reach out to different people, talk to people who were in places that I wanted to be in, and asked for help, got guidance. The first go around, when I first started my business of 2018, I didn't do anything like that. I wasn't laser focused on what I wanted. I just haphazardly dove into something I didn't know anything about. But this time around, 2020, it was go time. Like, I never wanted to be in a situation where I would feel vulnerable because, you know, I was considered an unnecessary worker. What if I'm working for myself? I can always be necessary. So I started getting my first clients by putting out on social media that I started my business. I rebranded, got a professional logo made. I just did everything the thorough way and legally became a business entity. And I was playing no games. I was so serious. It almost felt like I was a different person. And I attribute that to being able to leave a toxic environment and really focus on myself. Let's rewind. So I'm working at this real estate office, and I ended up leaving the call center a few months in because it was honestly starting to cut into my hours of me working for myself. While I was working at this real estate office, I literally on the clock, I would be working on my business, building my systems. Something that you'll learn about me is I believe in automation. So I started automating everything to where all I needed to do was show up to my appointment, leave a great impression, rebook the session, and continue to gain clientele and referrals. I started doing post-op massage, and that became my specialty. I got extra training in it and certified in it, and that's what I built most of my business around, although I also started doing, you know, just regular like Swedish massage, deep tissue massage, things like that. So while I'm working at the real estate office, I'm building my systems, and then I hired my first employee about a month into it. So I launched the business in June. About a month into it, I hired my first employee, a girl I knew from school, who even in school, she told me, you know, if I started my business, she would be there by my side and help me. And we started doing couples massages together. So that was another service I was able to add to my list of things that the business did. I'm working at this real estate office, building my systems, and I literally started answering phones while I'm on the clock. I worked out a deal with the local radio station to exchange gift cards for, I guess, ad space, or like the amount of gift cards I gave would amount to how much I had in ads. So that would lead to time on the radio. So I recorded my first radio ad, and that helped. I started talking about what I did to everyone. Everyone I met, I would tell them what I did, and I made a practice of it. And I was starting to see just more of as time went on, I started to see more of an influx in service, to where I realized, you know, if I keep this real estate job, then I'm really doing myself a disservice, doing the business a disservice. So there was one day where I answered the phone for my business, and the client that I was talking to was willing to give me $400. At that time, that was a lot of money, offering $400 for me to do a series of services for them. But it would require me to be more available. And some of the times that she wanted, I'd be at the real estate office. And I remember answering this call and even stepping outside while I was on the clock, and the owner saw that and really scolded me in front of the other employees in the office. I didn't like that. I did not like that at all. Like, something inside of me said, you really need to leave this place. This place is not letting you live your full gifts as a body worker, as a healer, as a businesswoman, and it doesn't serve you anymore. And so after the owner scolded me and or whatever, I told her respectfully that, you know, this is gonna be my last day working, and I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but my business is taking off, and I just don't think this place serves me anymore. That's not exactly what I said, but something like that. And, you know, to embarrass me in front of the other employees, she was like, okay, well, before you leave, just make these boxes. You know, those like file boxes that you put like literal paper files in. She wanted me to make several of those before I left. She also told me that one day I'm gonna have to learn how to work for someone. And that really stuck out to me, her saying that, because I was just thinking, you know, no, I won't. I don't want to, because the things that I'm learning about business will allow me to have my own system, be my own owner. So respectfully, I decided not to make those boxes, and, you know, I left. And I had never done anything like that before, ever. And that was in August, and that was the last time I was ever an employee somewhere. Like, wow, it's been over a year. And so after, you know, I officially launched the business, I hired my first employees, I started hiring more people. I started to automate every single system of the business to where I didn't have to show up, which was perfect, because only a couple months later, I found out that I was pregnant. You know, I had met my soulmate, I got pregnant, and, you know, that fall of 2020. And that was perfect, because setting up these systems, setting up this business allowed me to have a stress-free pregnancy. I was still making money even though I was 8 months pregnant, and even after the pregnancy, even now, like, it's a passive income that I built and was able to build other streams on top of it. And it's the whole reason why I'm even in this house. I was able to buy a house, which I thought was unheard of as a full-time entrepreneur. I didn't know that you could do that, which I'll do a whole video on how to qualify for a house when you're an entrepreneur. Don't you worry. So that's the story. I just had an aha. Like, I do not need to depend on someone else for me to make money and be secure. I was able to get out of my mom's house. I moved in with my partner, who's now my husband. It happened so quickly. I was able to scale within 3 to 6 months. I went full-time within 3 months, and I scaled to a 5-figure income within 6 months with a team of 6 people within 6 months of starting the business. I think what changed is that I had a whole different mindset. I had a mindset that believed that I could do anything that I actually wanted to do. I started my business out of necessity. I started my business because I didn't have a job and I didn't want to continue working these low-paying minimum wage jobs. So this is the part where I give you some motivation to go out on your own and start your own business. Just try to get the correct knowledge. Try to get guidance from someone. Get guidance from someone that has done what you've done. I've definitely respected people who watch my videos and then they find me on Instagram and they reach out to me and they ask me questions, and I'm more than willing to help this person and like point them in the right direction, even if there's something that I can't answer, because I respect that. That's something that I did when I started on this journey. And I know that that's just a major key. It's just finding people who have done what you've wanted to do and then doing it for yourself, but your way, because you are unique and you have certain gifts that would help you create a clientele that's specific for you. I'm looking at my phone to make sure that there is nothing that I missed in this video, but yeah. So something that you want to do is you want to set intention. You want to set intentions. You want to know exactly where you want to go. So before I even started, I knew that I wanted a 5-figure income. I knew I didn't want to make less than $3,000 every single month. And I knew I wanted it to be consistent income. So that's something I wrote down, and I, really visualized in my mind what it would feel like to get $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $7,000 a month. And I feel like just having the intention and being able to visualize and believe that you can do it can help you do that. Track your startup fees. So when I started my business, I remember adding up all the fees. I was tracking things as I went, and I'll also give you an Excel sheet where you could track all your expenses. So you want to track, how much you spent on your massage table, or how much you spent on your oils, or how much you spent on how much you're spending on gas, like things like that, like certain expenses you want to track. And when I added up my first month of being in my business, it came to about $492. So that was my startup costs. That was my initial investment in the business, was $492. And what else? Network and talk to people. This is a major key. This is something I'm still perfecting, getting used to letting people know what I do, no matter who I'm talking to, letting them know what I do. Not who I do, but what I do and how I do it. So that people are aware of what services you offer, because it's very likely that the services you offer can help them. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten new clients just by being in the grocery store and the lady smells my bag, because I use reusable bags, and it smells like peppermint oil. And I'm like, oh, I'm a massage therapist. Of course, if you say you're a massage therapist, they're gonna ask for your card, whether they're intending to get a massage or not. Leverage social media. Leveraging social media is also a major key. Highly recommend that. I let everyone on social media know what I was doing and what I was launching and what was new. It's really important to have a cohesive online presence, and that's the best way to be visible, especially post-pandemic. People are not really going out as much as they used to. So you're literally not as visible. Have a repeatable process. If you can't repeat a process and solve a problem with that process, then you don't really have a business. I know for me, I had a repeatable process that I was able to show a virtual assistant so that they could repeat the same processes that I was doing so that I didn't have to do it myself. So that freed up my time so that I can put my business, my time into other things that would generate more business. So that's very important. Learn about automation. If there's one thing that people should know about me, is that I believe in automated systems, like having things automated. It's very, very important if you're looking to scale and you're looking to not work as hard physically in your business. For me, I had to do this because I got pregnant, and so I couldn't physically do mobile massage for too long because that's just a physical draining thing. And I told y'all about my wrist injury and all that, and it was, yeah. So that was a major key. Whenever you're able to, try to scale as soon as possible. Scale as soon as possible. This is why it's important to keep track of your expenses, because if you are spending more in your business than you're actually bringing in, then it's going to be hard to scale, and it's going to be hard to do a whole lot in your business. It's going to be hard to invest in certain things that you need. And I don't know about y'all, but I bootstrapped. I've never had a business loan. I've never had an investor besides myself. I'm my own investor. I don't have parents that, you know, will invest in my business in that way. That's just not my lifestyle, but kudos to you if you do. Definitely leverage them if you can. So those are my starting tips. Now, if you want more detailed tips, I am building a course that answers a lot of the questions that you all ask me. And so I'm gonna leave the link to the sign up for that, for the waitlist for the course. And this course is all about automation. It's all about the spa business, how to have a successful spa as a body worker. And it's all about scaling as well. So automation, scaling, and business concepts that will work for your spa or yourself as a solo practitioner. So I'm gonna leave the wait list down below, and I am gonna give this course to 3 people for free. So look out for that. So if you sign up, you could be eligible to win it for free. You just wanna look at your email to see if you won the course for free. And that's gonna be awesome. Also, I'm gonna be leaving on the screen, you'll see it probably right here, where else you can find me. I have a whole Instagram dedicated to business and mindset, especially for service workers, for service-based workers. So definitely look out for that. And yeah, this is a fun video to film because I got to relive my story all over again, relive my aha moment of not wanting to work for someone, wanting to be my own boss and wanting to do my own thing, my way, and being able to manage myself, manage a team that believed in my brand, and live a very comfortable and passive life. And I'm trying to teach people how to do the same, because if we all win, that's just a better place to live, honestly. I think at this point in time, people are waking up. I think the pandemic really showed us that we can be replaceable at any time, at literally any time. So we need to look out for ourselves and have our own job, our own business that we're employed at. I hope this video was very informative. I mean, we got to know each other a little bit more. I'd like to get to know you more in the comments. Let me know if you're considering starting a business, if you're a massage therapist, if you're a massage student, and I just look forward to filming more videos for you all in the future. So I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it when y'all subscribe to my channel. Makes me feel really, really good. And I'm gonna be leaving a lot of really important links down in the description box. So please take a look at that. Until next time, stay well. Bye.